Don't know where to start with diabetes and meal planning? Don't worry, I have you covered in this video with 3 full days of recipes that are perfect for lowering your blood sugar levels. Let's go. Preheat your oven to 375 and grab your dry and liquid measuring cup. And yes, I do realize my drawer is a mess. We do need to start normalizing this, gang. I don't have matchy equipment. I use what works, and this has been with me for years, so it's gonna be. And you know, if you want me to have matchy stuff, you can gladly mail it to me because baby, I ain't gonna buy it if it works. The other thing is that I'm using a fork to stir. I'm not using some fancy whisk. Grab your muffin tins and your nonstick cooking spray. We just need 3 simple ingredients. You can get these at your local supermarket because, gang, I do not shop at the fancy store. We need to normalize shopping at Walmart more. Let's go for it. Go team Walmart. We have 4 eggs that we're going to use. They're a protein powerhouse, a package of your frozen broccoli, and then a package of your cheese. Now, I just talked about Walmart. You could tell that I got these at Kroger. Now, I love using this trick. I'm actually going to crack my eggs in the measuring cup. Why am I do this? Well, number one, I hate washing dishes, so I don't want to dirty an extra bowl. But really, this is going to help us pour out this egg and cheese mixture into our muffin tin so we don't make a mess, because, you know, a messy kitchen is a great kitchen, but I don't like cleaning up mess either. So one of our eggs, so remember we're using 4 eggs in this recipe, 72 calories, 6 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat, and really no carbs. So yay for that. I am using a fork to whip these eggs. Now, I don't have fancy equipment. I keep things really simple, and I tell this exact advice to my patients. So if you're new here, hey, I'm Dietitian Shelly. My job is that I'm a dietitian. I see folks during the day. Mainly I see folks for weight loss, blood sugar control, and hormone balance. If that's you, you want to subscribe because I'm going to give you some fun tips and tricks to follow. To this, we are going to add a 1/2 cup of our cheese, and yes, oh, excuse me, you can use any type of cheese. I'm using cheddar. If mozzarella's on sale, use that. It all works out great. So please don't feel like you have to use cheddar cheese, or if you want to ask, you can. I like cheddar. You might like mozzarella. Go ahead and grab that muffin tin, and I'm cutting the frozen broccoli open with our scissors. And one thing that I want you to do is put that broccoli down, spray that muffin tin with your nonstick cooking spray. This is very important. I don't own the silicone muffin cups. If you do, I'm very interested in purchasing this. I really want to buy only things that I need and work. So if they work for you, let me know when they're on sale at the Walmart. I'm gonna go and grab me some of those. So I'm happy to hear your opinion. You're going to fill up half of the muffin tin with your frozen broccoli. Of course, you could use different vegetables. Notice I am using the frozen chopped broccoli though. Pretty important, because to have big broccoli florets in the muffin tin is going to be a little bit messy and it may not cook all the way. So that's super important to me. Now, a little trick, I am going to spray the top of this so that it doesn't, you know, get any kind of burn, any kind of crisp. And we are going to cook this in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. While this is cooking, we're going to grab our meal prep items, which is our storage bags. And to get these out of the muffin tin, you could use a spatula. I was actually given this spatula as a gift. I think it was in my Christmas stocking one year, but you could use your plain old butter knife. These absolutely look great. Now remember, I cooked these for 15 to 20 minutes. The time's going to matter on how frozen your vegetables are. So give a little peek. It may take a little longer, it may take a little bit of a shorter time. And I'm going to remove these from the oven, let them cool for a little bit, and I'm going to cut them out with my spatula. Now, of course, you could put them in your storage bags. This video is about meal prep specifically for pre-diabetics. So I would encourage you to put 2 in your bag, serving size is 2. You add to this a fiber. Now, in a past video, which I'm going to link below, we talked about meal planning for a full day for a pre-diabetes plan. You're going to want to watch that because I talked about the importance of the combination of protein and fiber. And I would actually add another superfood protein to this, like your yogurt. This is a great breakfast. It's super simple. And if you want more menus, scroll in the description box. You can download our 7-day menu to help lower your blood sugar. And gang, I wish you well. Grab those Mission Carb Balance wraps, tomato, basil, and yes, I did get this at Kroger, mozzarella cheese, and of course, that rotisserie chicken. Start by slicing that tomato. Now, gang, I just want you to slice it thin. Don't panic about it being even. Well, I would love to say make it even, and I would love to say let's do some awesome knife skills. Don't cut off your finger and just slice it thin. Now, you're gonna go ahead and take that basil and you're gonna chop that up as well. But again, we're not focusing on knife skills. We're focusing on how to keep this easy, how to keep this quick without slicing our fingers up. So lay out your wrap. Y'all know I adore the Mission Carb Balance wraps. These are a staple in my clinic. And if you're new here, hey, what's going on? My name is Dietitian Shelly. I spend my days counseling folks with diabetes, prediabetes, and for weight loss, as well as some food allergies and some GI issues. So we cover it all. In my clinic at night, I kind of develop some easy recipes that my clients love and that I'm here to share with you all. So if you're new here, I want you to go ahead and subscribe. Make sure to download my menu in the description box, but you can see that I'm layering the tomatoes and the basil. Please remember, fiber is that weight loss winner. My goal is for you all to have 30 grams of fiber higher a day. It keeps us full. It just has these awesome benefits. I'm going to go ahead and link my menu below that I want you to download. It is free. It's going to show you how to get that fiber in. And of course, it's going to show you how to get that protein in. I love 90 grams of protein or higher in a day. That also keeps us full, keeps our blood sugar stable. You're going to want to get my tips and tricks in that menu, but we're cooking right now. So go ahead and have that saucepan on the stove at medium heat. You're going to spray it with non-stick cooking spray. Be sure to use olive oil base. Of course, you could use an avocado base. You're going to lay that wrap in your pan. I personally cook it about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. This depends the temperature that you have it at. So be careful. Do a little cheat check, as I like to say, because I don't want you to burn anything. So just check it out. I mean, it's okay. It's just you in the kitchen. This does not have to be beautiful. It does not have to be fancy. And then you're going to go ahead and flip it. Now, a little trick I use is I spray the top of that wrap with that non-stick cooking spray. This wrap is loaded with fiber. It's loaded with protein. It's great to meal prep for the week. Go ahead and make 3 to 5 at a time. Gang, if you're new here, I'm Dietitian Shelly. If not, hey, how's it going? I'm so glad you're here, and I want you to subscribe. Okay, gang, I love these meatballs. I found them over at the Kroger. I'm sure they're at Walmart and Albertsons. They're an Italian style meatball, but they are crazy gluten-free. Now I'm adding about, I don't know, I think it's about a half cup of water to my saucepan over medium heat. Don't worry, it will cook off. It's not gonna make your sauce runny or disgusting. And we're gonna add our meatballs one by one to our pan. Y'all, this is so good. These meatballs are gluten-free. Now you notice these guys are raw, right? So we're gonna have to cook this a little bit longer, probably in about that 20-minute time range. Now there's a couple of pre-cooked meatballs you could do that are gluten-free, that are diabetic friendly, because remember, a lot of times when they do add gluten, it's wheat, it's gonna increase the carbs. So do a double check of that carb count. I do believe that Cooked Perfect has some gluten-free meatballs that are absolutely scrumptiously delicious that you can find in your freezer section. But please, gang, do me a favor and look at that nutrition label, because you don't wanna boo-boo on your carbs with these meatballs. So now that these are all in there, you can see I made a huge mistake and I forgot to grab the lid. So I'm like Goldilocks over here digging for some lids that'll fit. Is that one a little too big? Let me find one that's a little small. Well, you know, I'm still looking. Well, gang, just put a lid on there because I don't want that water to splash around, and we want it to cook, again, 20 minutes. Okay, those meatballs are no longer pink, and it is absolutely time to add the magic sauce, which is our Rayos. Half a cup coming in at 6 grams of carbs and 1 gram of fiber. Gang, it's so important to look at those labels, and I'm here to tell you that this Rayos doesn't taste like that Walden Farms garbage that we were taught to eat in the 1980s. And you see that I am lowering my heat. It's bubbling. I don't know why, because I'm wearing a black shirt, so it's not like it's gonna matter. You're gonna put that jar to the side. And then here's our other magic, which is our goat cheese. But I'm really panicking because I think my black shirt's gonna get some sauce. So let me find that lid. Oh, this is the secret ingredient that's gonna turn this into a fat burning pasta sauce. And it is our goat cheese. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 8 ounces of goat cheese. I'm really only asking that you use 4, but wait a minute. I'm trying to find out how to open it. Do I use the scissors? I know y'all have been through this. So let me know sometimes if you get confused on opening up these packages of cheese. Comment below, confused, just to mess up the YouTube algorithm. But goat cheese we love. On a serious note, goat cheese has MCT in it. And what happens is it helps give us the feeling of fullness. So goat cheese does an amazing job of keeping us full, and it's an easy digested cheese because it does come from the goat. And we have to remember the fat in this cheese, the protein in this cheese, it is the combination that gives us the feeling of fullness. And they find that goat cheese has this more than our cow's cheese. Now, you can see I'm in a little situation. It kind of turned into a hot mess that I'm using the knife. So I'm gonna go and get a butter knife. Okay, yeah, using the butter knife's not, it's not really helping. Look, gang, I'm a messy cook. I tell folks the messiest kitchens are the best kitchens, but I have to get back to the fat burning potential of this goat cheese. MCT, those medium chain triglycerides, does so much wonderful things in our body, and everybody thinks of MCT as in coconut. I want you to get that out of your head. I want you to add goat cheese to your diet. It's absolutely delicious. It is such an amazing neutral flavor. It really goes great in both savory and in sweet dishes. All I'm doing is I'm really kind of just cutting it very messily with my butter knife. We're adding it in there. We're gonna put the lid back on and we're gonna cook it for about 10 minutes on low heat. I am so excited. It's time to serve this delicious fat burning sauce. Look at it bubbling, y'all. I wanna let y'all know when I was cooking this and Snapped was on in the background, one of my favorite shows. So I'm just serving this over my egg noodles. I'll link below that recipe. I made it last week for you all with only 2 ingredients. Not those disgusting zucchini noodles. You know how much I despise those. And look at that. If you want more low carb recipes with lots of laughter, be sure to subscribe to our channel. If you love this recipe, give it a like. Thanks, gang. The 3 simple ingredients are egg whites. My biggest rule of thumb, check out the label, make sure it's 100% egg whites. You can see I got these at Walmart. You can get them at any of your grocery stores, just like our mozzarella cheese. Now you can get this at Kroger. This blue package is from Aldi, which is happening to be one of my new favorite grocery stores. Let me know in the comment section if you have an Aldi in your town. And then our peanut butter. Now I have 3 different ones I want to show you. We have Crazy Richards, and really my biggest complaint is how the oil comes to the top of it. Now something that I've learned is that you could flip it over, and what that does is that'll help the oil kind of distribute throughout the entire product. Let me know if you have a better suggestion, because sometimes that actually doesn't work for me. We have the Good peanut butter. This is one where they use sometimes a little bit of stevia in there. You can see that it is no stir, so it's a little bit more of a positive. And then we have our Jif. Now my biggest rule of thumb, again, I am a big label reader. Just check out that label, look at the ingredients, look at the sugar, pick the one with the lowest amount of sugar. Grab your whisk or a fork. I'm a fork girl. Measuring cups, yep, my drawer is a disaster. A bowl and your chaffle maker. Go ahead and add a 1/2 cup of your egg whites to this bowl. Now, if you've seen a lot of chaffle recipes on the internet, which is just a fancy word for a low carb waffle or a diabetic friendly waffle, a lot of them have eggs. I love eggs. I think eggs are wonderful. You know, eggs are an amazing source of protein. However, I know a lot of us right now are saving calories. So I use the egg whites, and sometimes the egg whites are a little easier for me to use because I just pour them out of a carton. I don't have to worry about cracking an egg. And I know that may be a little first world problems, but yeah, give me those egg whites. They still have 4 grams of protein. They're 18 calories. And if you're switching eggs out of any recipe, for 1 egg, you're going to use 2 egg whites. Next, we're going to add our 1/2 cup of our mozzarella cheese. And again, my biggest rule of thumb, gang, and I've said it once, I've said it again, I'll say it 4,000 times, is we always want to look at that label. This is a great way that we can compare products. We can compare the store brand to the regular brand. I am a big store brand person. I love to save money, and I just make sure I double check the labels. This will not be a pretty mixture. Now, you could take your fancy pants blender and blend it down. You go for that, and you go, girl. I am all about that, but right now, I'm just trying to save myself some time. Our secret peanut butter, we are going to add 2 tablespoons to this. Now you see it's taking me a couple seconds. You could see that I picked the Jif. Of course, you could pick Crazy Richards, or you can pick your favorite brand. That does not hurt my feelings. And you're gonna want to make sure to stir this until it's well blended. Again, this will not be pretty, but it sure as heck's gonna taste pretty. Plug in that dash, grab that pan, get your batter, and some tongs, and yes, another unorganized drawer. Now go ahead and spray your dash with a little bit of Pam and pour a little bit of your batter directly into the middle of your dash. Now I really should be measuring this. I'm gonna guesstimate it's about 2 to 3 tablespoons, and you're gonna go ahead and close your dash and cook it for about 3 to 4 minutes. Now you could grab a pretty plate, or you can grab a paper plate. Let me know in the comments section if you're a paper plate person. And you can grab a couple toppings. There's a couple of sugar-free syrups that you could use that are on the market that are fantastic. And when we go ahead and lift that lid, you could see that yucky batter turned into this gorgeous diabetic waffle. Gang, I'm Dietitian Shelly. If you were too busy watching this video without taking notes, no worries. I have the recipe down below, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks, friends. Now follow me to the refrigerator for that one simple ingredient. It is Kroger mild Italian sausage. Now y'all know me by now, my bougie on the bayou self. I shop at the Kroger, the Walmart, the Albertsons. Of course, you can get your own. You can get your favorite, but remember to look at that nutrition label, and particularly looking at the carbs and the sugar, because these food companies are so sneaky. It's like they're sneakier than kids trying to sneak in candy behind the teacher's back. Boo. But we don't do that in this kitchen. We look at that label. So all we do, take our sharp knife, get that plastic off of there. And now you're going to follow me to the beautiful air fryer. So I have a Ninja Foodie. Yes, it was a great Christmas present. Thank you, Mama. Love you. Mwah. And we're just going to put our sausage links in the air fryer basket. Notice I didn't spray, don't have any oil. We are just putting them in as is. They're sticking together a little bit, you know. Probably if I wasn't filming this, I would use my fingers, but I'm kind of being polite and just putting them in there with the tongs. Now, once they're in, we are going to give that little close. If it's in your air fryer basket, just put that basket in, press the start button, hit that air crisp, go ahead for 360 for about 8 to 9 minutes, and we're going to do a little checky-roo. We're at the halfway mark. Let's check on our sausage, and we're going to grab those tongs and give them a little tilt-a-whirl, a little turn there, and ooh, they are crisping up. I gotta love it. I can't sing, but I always sing a song to myself when I'm cooking or I'm watching Snapped, one or the other. So after we flip this around, we are going to close that lid and do the exact same thing. We're going to go ahead and cook at 360 for about 8 to 10 minutes. Oh, child, these are done. Let's go ahead and take them out. I mean, look at that crisp. I just love sausages cooked in the air fryer, and I promise you're going to love it. The kids are going to love it, but let me show you how we're going to complete the lunch. Follow me, eh? Yep, you're going to see my little stand. You're going to see my pantry door open. Whoopsie doodle. Yes, I'm wearing shorts into that. That bun is Sola. Sola is at Walmart. Ooh, my bougie on a bayou. I'm going to top it with a little mustard, a little onion, green onion. Do whatever you like. But gang, that bun, the Sola buns are low in net carbs. They're delicious. This makes a great lunch. For the recipe, scroll down below. And for more low carb and laughter, be sure to subscribe. Grab your shopping list, because these ingredients can be found at your favorite local supermarket. Yes, I'm talking about Walmart, Kroger, Albertsons, y'all. We have Swerve. You're going to see why I love this in a second. Apple. Don't panic. You'll learn why. Some sugar snap peas, Greek yogurt, lemon juice, carrots, and of course, coleslaw mix. Grab that weight loss fat burning winner, Greek yogurt. Measure on out a half a cup of it, and you're going to put it in a large bowl. So this is a winner for a couple of reasons, but the main one is this high protein content. So many of y'all are going to ask me, hey, can we use a dressing, like a sugar-free dressing? No, because those sugar-free dressings do not have
protein. Greek yogurt's higher in protein than regular yogurt, and remember, protein keeps us full, so it promotes satiety, which is the feeling of fullness. It's low carb naturally, and it's low on the glycemic index scale. It ranks about 6 to 11 points, and just to give you a gauge, our good old raspberries is about 37. Now, we like things that are low in the glycemic index because it will produce less blood glucose and insulin, which will help us to avoid creating body fat. That's a lot of stuff. That means get Greek yogurt into your diet. We're gonna add to that a tablespoon of our swerve. You can definitely give it a little mixeroo right here if you would like to, or you can go ahead and add in that tablespoon of lemon juice. This can give us that tang. So again, give it a great little mixture. And again, so many of y'all are gonna ask about different vegetables. I love sugar snap peas. I feel like it gives me a crunch. This is something that you could snack on in the car for sure. I do this a lot. I get funny looks. I used to fly a lot. I really don't anymore, thank goodness, because as I've gotten older, flying's kind of lost its romantic appeal. But I used to bring sugar snap peas on the airplane, and folks would look at me like I was crazy. And I'd go, hey, leave me alone because I'm a dietitian. Back to these vegetables, use what you like and chop it how you like. I'm not a chef, gang. I'm just using a regular old knife and a regular old cutting board, and I'm adding in an apple. Now, before you clutch the pearls, start sweating, panic a little bit. Apple is a high fiber fruit, and we're only adding one to this mixture. I need a crunch. I need that, kind of sweet feel in this salad. And we're gonna chop this up very thin as well. Now, one of my little tricks, because I was a 4-H'er growing up, is that I like to kind of mix things as I go. So we're gonna add the chopped up sugar snap peas and apples to our Greek yogurt dressing and give it a really, really good mix up so that everything gets coated. It's gonna be mouth watering. It's gonna be fantastic. And then now we gotta add the final ingredients, which is our coleslaw mix. And I do add it a little bit at a time. And then your shredded cabbage. And again, add as much or as little as you please. This is a salad to please you and your family. I really just give you the base of this. As we mix it, I probably should have used a bigger bowl, but that's okay. And I'm a little lazy because I'm not gonna get a larger bowl. You are gonna love this. Look at it, it's beautiful. I mean, smelly vision's not there, crunch vision's not there. This does everything. It's mouth watering, it's crunchy. You're gonna wanna make this. Scroll in the description box for the recipe. And again, while you're down there, download that 7-day menu for you to lower your blood sugars and help you lose weight. Gang, I'm Dietitian Shelly. Please subscribe to this channel and much love.
Now, you can't have a recipe without the ingredients, and all these I've purchased at the Walmart, Kroger, Aldi. You could shop your favorite stores for the deals. We have our fajita seasoning mix at about $1.25. The most expensive part of this is our meat at $8.89. Onion averages about 70 cents. Our Mission Carb Balance wraps are about $4. And our cabbage bag is about $1.50, which brings us to a total of, per serving, about $4.09. Go ahead and grab that crock pot or slow cooker. Let me know what you say. Are you team crock pot or team slow cooker? Let me know in the comments. Cutting board and knife. We're going ahead and giving that onion a nice little cut. One onion, 44 calories. You all know this by now. Cutting onions makes me cry. Yes, I wear contacts. I have tried so many of the wonderful tricks and tips y'all have given me. Thank you so much for those, but guess what? I need more. So I wear my contacts, I still cry. I put the onion in the refrigerator, still cry. I put the onion in the freezer, still cry. So if you have some thoughts, I really need to know in that comment section. If you're new here, hey, I'm Shelly. I'm a dietitian. During the day, I see folks with prediabetes, diabetes, those in post menopause, as well as those looking to lose weight. If that's you, you're going to want to subscribe to this channel because, hey, you're going to get some great recipes and tips to follow. You see that I add the seasoning to this. Use fajita. You could use taco seasoning. Just make sure that sugar on the label is 0. I'm adding my stew meat to this, and meat is a great source of protein. Protein keeps us full. It promotes satiety. It keeps our blood sugars stable. My goal for the day for protein for you all is 90 grams or higher. That's about 3 to 4 ounces at our mealtime. So don't be afraid of your nice lean meat. We love those. You're gonna go ahead and cover this. You're gonna cook it on low for about 4 to 6 hours. Go ahead and remove that lid. This looks amazing. It smells amazing. I wish we had smelly vision. Now, before you go, I want to plate this for you and really talk about this. We're using our Mission Carb Balance wraps. I love these. They are amazing. They're a huge source of fiber. You all know by now that fiber slows blood sugar absorption, so it helps keep our blood sugar stable. It helps with weight loss. We need to be eating 35 grams of fiber or higher in a day. That's what I stress to my folks in my clinic. We're gonna go ahead and put some cabbage on it. This is an amazing dinner, all for under $4.09 per serving. Put this on your shopping list. I promise you won't regret it. And for more recipes and fun, be sure to subscribe. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. You can see I have a huge baking pan. I love this pan, and I'm gonna line it with non-stick aluminum foil. If you've been watching my channel, and hey y'all, I'm Dietitian Shelly. My job is to lower your blood sugars and help you balance your hormones, and of course, help you lose some weight. You know that I love non-stick aluminum foil. You can use parchment paper, I guess, and you really don't have to use anything at all. You can get your non-stick aluminum foil at, of course, your Kroger, your Walmart, because baby, you know I don't shop at the fancy store. Grab your cutting board. Love, love, love this recipe. You see that I have my asparagus. It is washed. It is clean. Yes, boo, I do wash my vegetables. Some of y'all kind of pick on me a little bit about, oh, this isn't clean. Baby, my house old. It old. If it's stained, it's going to stick there. It came this way, boo. It's just how it's going to be. You can grab a knife, which I will do in a second because sometimes I'm a little lazy. But you could do the technique of the bend and snap. And bonus points if you know where that's from, what movie that's from. You can write it in the description section because it is absolutely one of my favorites. But after a while, I'm kind of, I'm a little over it. I'm a little over the bend and the snapping. I'm going to grab my knife. We're going to cut that stem off that asparagus. And you can kind of see I'm transferring them over to my pan. And I'm grabbing one of my favorites, which is the olive oil. And we're going to use 2 tablespoons of that. We have our Redmond real salt, a little bit of pepper, but of course I have my Tony's Light. Whoa, hello. Because I do honor my low sodium folks. I understand. I don't measure, gang. I'm Cajun. It's something we don't do. Let me know in the comment section if you're Cajun as well and where you're from, because I'm from Homa. I would say like about a half a teaspoon of each. I don't know. I just do a little shaky there. And then I go ahead and toss this. I am not about dirtying extra dishes. I do not like to throw things in a bunch of bowls and dirty it up. I'm like, I'm just going to do it in the pan. You can see that I'm doing it with a fork. I don't have fancy equipment in here. I don't want you to feel like you need fancy equipment to cook great diabetic and pre-diabetic meals and meals that are great for weight loss. When everything's coated, we're going to throw this in the oven for 15 minutes. This is amazing. It's delicious. It is one of the easiest ways to cook asparagus, but the beauty is because of that olive oil we're using, we are working to help lower our blood sugars. Gang, I'm Dietitian Shelly. If you need the recipe, look in that description box. Much love. Grab some containers and the star of the show, your Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt has 17 grams of protein in 3/4 of a cup. Remember, protein keeps us full. It promotes satiety. Just check the label to make sure that there's no added sugar to this. Then we're going to use our frozen blueberries. And again, I stress this so much. Double check your label. Make sure the ingredient on there is the blueberries. You see there's no added sugar. And then I grabbed some nuts. I just grabbed these out of the cabinet. There is no need to go buy things if we already have them. And that's the case of our bowl. You could use a bowl. You could use containers that you already had. Please don't go and leave this video and go and buy a bunch of containers when we have some. For today, I'm using the travel cup. Don't go buy any new. If you want to do a bowl and put some aluminum foil on it, that is a-okay. We're measuring out loosely a cup of our Greek yogurt. Now I'm using Faye. There are so many wonderful brands out there. There's Dan and Too Good. Chobani has a 0 sugar. Even some of our store brands from Walmart and Kroger are phenomenal. All I ask you do, and I teach this in clinic, is read your ingredient label. Don't be shamed into buying the most expensive brand. A lot of us are here to save money. And today I picked the Faye. Usually buying in the bigger container is going to be a little bit cheaper, but if you want to just take the yogurt with you to work, you could definitely buy it in the 6 ounce and just mix it when you sit at your desk. Adding to this are frozen blueberries. Now, before you panic and, grab those pearls, you can see this is private selection, so I got it at the Kroger. Blueberries are a low glycemic fruit. I am very specific about fruit and clinic. And if you're new here, or if you're visiting, or if you're returning, I'm Shelly. During the day, I work as a dietitian. My main clients are those looking for weight loss, for hormone balance. I have a lot of pre-diabetics, diabetics, even folks looking to lower their cholesterol. And those low glycemic fruits are where we want to go because those guys have fiber. Fiber is key to keeping us full, but it prevents those ups and downs with our blood sugar levels. So we want to load up on those low glycemic fruits. Other things you could do, raspberries, you could do strawberries, you could do blackberries. I'm doing the blueberries and yogurt. I don't know. It just kind of seems to make sense to me, but please feel free to use any of those other glycemic fruits. Now, the other thing I'm doing is I'm adding nuts. Now, yes, you can get the pretty sliced almonds, but I'm cheap. I want to see what I have and I want to use what I have. One of my goals this year is that I don't waste. All again, I ask you do. I'm preaching to the choir when talking to y'all. Sorry, I had a little tickle in my throat there. Just double check your ingredients. There's really no added sugar to this whole container of nuts. I got this at Sam's Club. You can crush them, but again, I'm also saving time. Who cares? Y'all, this ain't pretty, but guess what? It works. See you next time. Ingredients are crazy easy. Grab your Mission Carb Balance wraps, some mozzarella cheese, turkey pepperoni, and yes, pay attention to those ingredients, friends, because I know you're going to say something in the comments. You could do chicken, but I love pizza, so bring me my pepperoni. Pizza sauce. Again, this is something I want you to be very mindful of in the comment section. This did have 3 grams of sugar. For some of y'all looking for lower sugar, there are different varieties out there that are going to be available at your Walmart and Kroger, so no biggie. It's so easy to prep these. Lay out your Mission Carb Balance wrap on your cutting board. We love these. They are a huge amount of fiber. Y'all know fiber is a winner in here. Said it once, I've said it twice. I'll say it again. 30 grams of fiber in a day is what I want to see you do. And we're gonna layer this with your turkey pepperoni. Now, I picked turkey pepperoni. I am always very mindful of calories. This will offer some protein in here. And it's water, fiber, and protein that are my diabetic and pre-diabetic best friends. Protein keeps that blood sugar stable. Protein also keeps us fuller longer. I want you to aim for 90 grams of protein or higher. And if you're new here, I'm Shelly. I'm a dietitian. In the day, I work with clients. At nighttime, I'm a busy mom trying to make up some really quick recipes, starring ingredients from Walmart and Kroger. If that is you, go ahead and subscribe. And hey, while you do that, download my 7-day menu in the description box. We're going to continue with about a 1/4 cup of our mozzarella cheese. This also offers us some protein, about 2 tablespoons of our pizza sauce. And remember, friends, always be mindful. Look on the label. I do look at carbs, but I also look at sugar. Let's keep it as low as possible. To make this wrap, you're going to grab your saucepan, set it to medium heat. We're going to put your wrap on there after, of course, you spray it with your nonstick cooking spray. I personally like to cook it 2 to 3 minutes, but I like a crisp. Dare I say I kind of like it a little burnt almost? Don't think I'm weird, but I like that. You can cook it less, you can cook it more. It's all up to you, boo-boo. We love what you do. When it's done cooking, remember this is our fiber protein winner. Those Mission Carb Balance wraps have about 15 to 17 grams of fiber, depending on what type you buy. You're gonna remove this from the heat and cut it into 4 pieces. Now here's the thing, you're gonna repeat this process for your work week, so for 5 days. Make sure you store it. You can store it in sandwich bags. I do prefer to store it in plastic containers. Don't go buy the fancy ones. Use what you have. We're not here to spend extra money. So keep repeating this over again. You could do different toppings. This is a meal prep lunch. Perfect for diabetics, pre-diabetics. Check out the ingredients in the description box. And gang, while you're there, make sure you subscribe. Much love. set oven to 350 degrees. And introducing our fat burning star, which is our goat cheese. Now for this recipe, we only need 2 ounces. This is an 8-ounce block. You see how crafty my geometry skills are, where I'm kind of taking the knife, putting it in the middle, and then kind of doing 1/4 of it. I don't really stress out about that kind of stuff. I don't want you to stress out about it as well. What I want you to think about is the importance of goat cheese. It is our fat burner because it contains more MCT than that of the cow. Now, you're probably saying, who really cares about that, Shelly? Well, guess what? I do, because using goat cheese that has more MCT and that makes it a fat burner is that the fatty acids in there, the MCT, is metabolized faster. What does that mean? It's gonna keep us fuller longer, so we're not gonna reach for snacks, and it's gonna help us with our weight loss plan. Now, the other cool thing about goat cheese, it has something called A2 beta casein. That is a big fancy word that means that, hey, I'm easier to digest, so I'm not gonna cause you tummy troubles or the trots, maybe that like a cow's milk and a cow's cheese would do. In addition to the goat cheese, we are adding 1.5 cup of our shredded cheese. You see, I'm using Kroger because I'm bougie on a bayou. I don't go buy fancy stuff, y'all. I just don't expect y'all to do it. I don't expect my patients to do it. I don't expect my clients to do it. And I sure as heck don't expect y'all to do it. Follow me to the microwave. We're going to microwave this for a minute. And once we take it out of the microwave, it's kind of ooey. It's gooey. It's not at all gross. It is fantastic. Give it a good stir so we can make sure everything is mixed really well. And to this, we are adding our almond flour. Now, gang, yes, I do have a little bit of an allergy sniffle. Any helps and tips would be wonderful because I hate medicine. It completely knocks me out. But almond flour is my favorite. We're adding a cup to this. I know I'm going to get asked the question where I purchased mine from. I get this at Sam's Club. Again, bougie on a bayou. I don't have a Costco in my town. I'm sure they have it at Costco. And the next question I'm going to get asked about is coconut flour. Y'all know, if you know me by now, I am just not a fan of coconut flour. I guess you can use it in there. Go ahead and try it. I encourage you all to, try things and to have fun, and let me know in the comments, are you team almond flour or team coconut flour? Y'all know I am team almond flour. Now, y'all know I ain't fancy. I'm just going to grab me a fork and keep mixing this up. Now, here's where things kind of got a little sticky shady. So I have my parchment paper, and I want you all to grab this parchment paper. And of course, I got this at Walmart because, again, I don't go to fancy stores. I really don't have a lot of fancy stores in my town. I know, grass those pearls. Oh my goodness, I don't. And I really don't have time to shop at that kind of stuff. I'm a big fan of pickup. Let me know if you love pickup as well. And you can see my baking pan is kind of embarrassing, but look, gang, that baking pan is so old. I am only getting rid of it if it cracks in half. So if you want to make fun of it, go ahead. It is kind of one of those heirloom, my baby. I am not getting rid of this bad boy. Now, first, I started by putting the parchment paper on top of the baking pan. I put the dough on there. You can get another piece of parchment paper, put it on top, and grab an amazing rolling pin. I kind of struggled with this a little bit in a fun way, gang. In a fun way. Don't think too heavy about this. I know there might be some professional chefs out there who are going to make fun and who are going to laugh. Gang, don't worry about that. This does not have to be perfect. You can see I struggled, so all I did was remove the pan and, kind of use my fingers a little bit. Have fun with this. Take your anger out on the dough. The point is we want to make the dough really thin, gang. And if you want to use your baking pan with it, if you want to use a rolling pin, if you want to use your fingers, use whatever matters to you. Please don't let this upset you or let anybody tell you anything else but wrong. People just love to make us sweat, and I don't want you to do that. Now, this is where I went on the struggle bus as well. I grabbed my pizza cutter and I'm kind of like, okay, we need to cut this in triangles so it can look like Doritos. Well, you see my triangles are all messed up. Geometry was not my subject in high school. I can remember I had to get a tutor. I boohooed like a baby for every test. Yes, I was that student. I was a good student, but I did struggle with geometry. If you have some ideas on how I can make these triangles better, let me know. You can see I'm super on the struggle bus with this. Again, you got a little allergy going on here. And you just kind of take your triangles or rectangles or octagons or whatever the heck you made, and you put it on your pan and you bring it over to your oven. Go ahead and bake for 12 minutes. These are amazing. They come out super crispy. Look how thin they are. And if you were too busy laughing and not writing, don't worry. I have the recipe in the comments section. And if you're looking to lower your blood sugar, lower your weight, and make some fun low carb recipes in the process that I promise you and the entire family would love, I would be honored if you subscribe. And gang, love you much. Bye-bye.
Grab your pen and paper. You're going to want to put these ingredients on your shopping list. We have our Italian dressing. I'm using Kim's. Just be sure to check the label to look at that sugar and carb count. We have cottage cheese, which we'll learn is one of our secret weight loss weapons in a little bit. We have our Palmini, which is going to be our noodle, which is hearts of palm at 4 grams of carbs, mozzarella cheese. And check this out, gang. So we have Rayo's and we have Prego. And so what I'm doing is comparing the labels, and Rayo has 5 grams of net carbs and Prego has our 7 grams of net carbs. And then I kind of look at calories, and then I look a little bit at price, and you're going to see in a little bit which one I decided to pick. Now go ahead and put that final ingredient, which is our 90-10 ground meat, in our saucepan. I get a lot of questions about ground meat, and I'm still to this day, I am a 90-10 girl. If I see 93.7, it's kind of hard to find lately. I'll use that. You could use turkey, you could use chicken, and folks are very concerned about what meat to use. And where are my manners? Hello, if you're new here, welcome, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Dietitian Shelly. During the day, I work in a private practice clinic in the great state of Louisiana. I work with diabetics, pre-diabetics, those with PCOS, those looking to lose weight. I also post videos on this YouTube channel related to the same: diabetes, pre-diabetes, insulin resistance, hormone imbalance. If you're that person who wants to lower your blood sugars, take control of your weight, balance out your hormones, you are going to want to subscribe to this channel. I would love to have you along in the family so that you can learn how to eat yummy foods, learn some easy tips that won't break the bank. So please subscribe. I would love to have you be part of this family. You're going to see how I'm going to add, well, I'm draining the Palmini noodles first. You don't see it. I'm kind of doing it while this meat is getting brown. Okay, so because we want to brown down our meat. You also are not going to see me drain this meat, but I want you to do that. I give it a little rinsey rinse. And I chose the Prego. The reason I chose the Prego is because I love Rayo's. I will tell you, I love Rayo's. I'm just not loving the price right now. I know a lot of us are penny pinching, and I want you to feel okay. Not buying the most expensive item, but still buying an item that's okay. So please don't feel guilty about that. We're gonna pour in about a 4th cup of the Italian dressing. This adds a really nice zing, a really nice zang, and I like that. Stir in your Palmini, and you're gonna see that I'm putting it on low. Yes, there's my face, there's my hair, woohoo, yay. That's what I look like, on normal days. Not all made up, it's okay. And we're adding that weight loss weapon, a cup of our cottage cheese. Okay, so let's talk about this. So how is cottage cheese a weight loss winner? Well, easy, it's loaded with protein. Cottage cheese is a great source of protein, and to say it in scientific terms, it promotes satiety. To say it in normal words, satiety is the feeling of fullness. So in other words, this is gonna fill you up without filling you out, without having you reach for other items. Now, the really cool thing about fat burning is cottage cheese is very low on the glycemic index scale. Now, there's a little bit of discrepancy. Some places I'll see it's 10, some places I'll see it's 15, but the lower glycemic foods, the lower glycemic index foods will produce less blood glucose and insulin, which will avoid us creating body fat. So we always want to reach for low glycemic foods. We're going to stir that together. We're going to sprinkle this with some cheese. We're going to let it sit, y'all. This dinner's amazing. It can help reverse pre-diabetes because it's all low glycemic. Cook this now. Go in the description box, get the recipe, subscribe to this channel, and gang, much love.